Okay, balik po tayo. Pinag-uusapan natin kung ano ang marahil kaya natin gawin sa ating kapaligiran para siguro mamihuran at mabawasan ang disgrasya na nangyayari sa maraming kababayan natin dito dahil sa dumalakas ang ulan. Ang isang bagay siguro, Kadjo, na kailangan natin tingnan dito ito bang mga pangyayaring ito ay isang bagay na mangyayari once every 10, 15 or 50 years? Kita natin yung undoy. Pero yun, typhoon. Sanay tayo sa bagyo Sanay tayo sa typhoon. Pero ito, habagat. Yeah. Alam mo, hindi ko nasasabihin kung anong edad ko, pero sa tanang buhay ko, hindi ako nakatikim ng habagat na ganito.
Yeah. But
in all my lifetime, I've never seen something as simple. Sa akin, yung habagat kasi yan, pagka lang namamangka ka dyan sa hapon, naramdaman mo yung daloy ng hangin, no? Yung tinatawag nating habagat sa dagat, no? Pero ito, habagat na nagdala ng katakot-takot na ulan. Is this the new normal, as I think the President was saying? Kailangan, wag natin tingnan ito na, naku, hindi na babalik ito for another 10 to 15 years. But maybe happening year after year.
It's climate change, I think. Kasi dati, yung 100-year flooding history, 3 years lang yung interval ng undoy at saka ngayon. Measure not just the typhoon, but the flooding. Kaya, yung disenyo ng mga design criteria ng public works ng mga...
Talagang kailangan baguhin, ano?
Yeah, kasi 25-year history lang. Other countries in the world, 100 years ang design criteria ng flood history. We have done projects in River Nile, in Africa, 500 years ang data nila. Ang Netherlands, ang design nila, 500 years din.
Alright, so we've got to call the Department of Public Works and Highways here, and even all of the other city officials, engineering districts, that they've got to begin to now to upgrade all of their standards.
Makikita mo, yung mga bridges funded by foreign funding agencies like the World Bank, they are 1 meter above the highest flood line. Yung mga locally funded, underwater. I don't know whether the criteria is low or may 20% kickback. Kaya yung contractor, binaba ng 20% siguro.
I know. Alright, from 0928-508-0286. Bakit hindi po gawing road and park ang buong Laguna Lake? Cable car yung island ng Binangonan para maging attraction pa at creating jobs, tanggalin lahat ng fish pen ng mayayaman.
Nasa rekomendasyon natin din gawin Laguna Lake even as a water transport. Yung i-dredge na material, ilagay sa beside the road dike. You can have a 250-kilometer park around the lake, and we can create new cities ala Geneva overlooking Geneva Lake, or ala Chicago overlooking Michigan Lake. Wala ka pang tsunami.
Tama naman, no? And so it needs the kind of imagination, I think.
It can be done.
But I think it's only something the private sector can really pioneer. Because if you want to expect government to do that, walang mangyayari.
If you look at, for instance, the past 63 years that we became a republic, saan yung may pagyayabang mong development? Private sector.
Wala tayo.
Walang government. Wala.
Kasi dito naman ang politiko na iniisip lang, yung susunod na halalan
At
saka napaka-narrow ng kanilang tapos tinitingnan lang kaya pagkikitaan dito sa mga project na ito. Diyan tayo talagang nalulungkot kung minsan sa ating, lalo na sa ating mga mambabatas dito at saka mga department people sa executive na ang kilos lang dahil dito Ay nako, nakakalungkot. 0906-542-4117. Good evening, sir. At kay Architect, tanong ko lang po, di po ba pwedeng ipirmi ang water level ng mga dam para pag umulan, bababa pa konti-konti ang tubig? Hindi po yung pagkamalaki na yung tubig, dun mo bubuksan talagang babaha. Alvin Pasyon ng Ebus Guagua.
Yeah. From what I know, wala nang gumagawa ng big dams except China. Puro mini dams na. But long-term yung mga nakalbong bundok, talagang tree planting, reforest, so there's a holding capacity. And ganun dapat. Maraming proposals naman sa big dams. I don't know whether there should be an oversight review o peer design review. Sa Singapore, their drainage system designs, may 2 representatives from private sector, the Singapore Institute of Architects and the Singapore Institute of Engineers. Dito wala tayong ganun. Pag dinisan ng gobyerno, walang oversight, peer review from the private sector.
Ayun. Alright, so yun ang sinasabi ni Kajun. Dapat lahat ng gagawin ng gobyerno to allow private sector participation, not just in building it, but in reviewing the parameters of the project.
Sa Dubai, instruction ng lugar ng Dubai, zero defect.
Pero alam mo kung bakit? Hindi nila pwedeng payahan ng private sector. Doon sila kumikita. Ikaw naman, kasi doktor lahat ng specification doon. Ay, anong gusto mo mangyari? Mawalan sila ng kita. Ano ka, sineswerte? Aba, sinasabi nila. Kung lahat dito ng mga nasa gobyerno ay kumikita, ay bakit naman kami hindi? Ayun ang problema.
Especially high-ticket items, yung mga very expensive infrastructure. What they do elsewhere in the world, at least 3 alternative designs. And you defend advantage per design. Then you implement. Dito, single design approach. Maybe somebody will come out with big dams. No, ba? Iko-question na lang pagka nagbabaha na.
Alam mo, panahon pa ito ni Presidente Marcos. Sabi ko, alam nyo, kung gusto nyo, para pwede nyo sementohan at paspaltohan lahat ng karsada dito sa Pilipinas, may babalang ninyo, sabi ko, ang graph dyan sa mga programa ng pagpapagawa na yan by 20 to 25%. I mean, kako, there will be enough asphalt and cement to cement the whole and asphalt the whole Philippines. Mawala lang yung portion na po yun na nagpupunta sa bulsa na hindi nararapat, whether yan ay congressman, whether yan ay sa senador, whether yan ay sa COA, whether yan ay sa DPWH. Kasi 4 silang kasangkot dyan sa lahat ng project na yan. Kanya hindi naman natin nilalahatin ng senador o congressman, pero yan ang kalakalan, nakagawian, di ba ba? So, yan ang ating nagiging problema. Maalis lang ang konti ang graft and corruption doon. Katakot-takot na ang maidadagdag na proyekto. Ngayon, ang problema natin ngayon, hindi yon. Kabagal naman! Wala namang naaprubahan. Ako, para kayong ginaganon doon para maano kanya yung PPP. A promise of 2 years ago, until now, nothing happens. Baka daw sakali sa katapusan ng taon, tingnan natin, halala na yun, kanya maging problema na yan. From 0917-864-0727. Basta si Urban Planner Palafox ang guest sa TV, napapahinto kami ng gawa and watch him kasi he knows what he is talking about. From Philip Agoncillo Kamuning, your fan, your friend, or what?
I don't
But I agree with you. It's always enjoyable to talk to Architect Palafox. From 0932-236-6574. There is no urban planning at all in the Philippines, no zoning. People build whatever they want, wherever they want. Nothing improves and changes in Philippines because we just keep things the way they are. For example, so many condos being built on service roads, but the roads never get wider or new roads are not being built, causing more traffic. The issue of density is, of course, a big issue.
Yeah.
You know, even in modern cities like, for example, like Manhattan, that concrete jungle, di ba? Napapangatayog. Manhattan is a traffic mess.
They are improving. Tama siya. Yung urban planning, the decisions on urban planning in the Philippines is done by politicians, not urban planning. The more progressive cities in the world, like Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, London, Paris, New York, they listen to the urban planners, the architects and engineers. And I'm sorry to say that parang second class lang mga architects, engineers, urban planners here. Ang first class are the politicians and the lawyers, if I may say so. May mga lawyers din sa pamilya ko. And hindi masyadong napapakinggan. And the extreme vested interest. Like elsewhere in the world, if you put a high-rise, which is, I have nothing against it because you have more people within 1 hectare, but may sinisingil na impact fee, development impact fee. So you must also contribute to the community. And ginagawa yan sa Makati Commercial Estate Association. For every square meter over and above the original zoning done by bookmaking, you contribute 2,100 pesos per square meter na dagdag. Kaya may pera sila for elevated walkways, wider sidewalks, better security. Dapat siguro sa government gagawin na rin. Mag-cite ako ng foreign examples. Cambridge, Massachusetts, inaral namin nun, for every new household formation, $10,000 ang gastos ng gobyerno, education, healthcare, police protection, garbage, and so on. Dito, we don't have such a thing. Ginagawa namin ng San Juan ngayon, and they have a very good mayor, vice mayor, and councilor. They're open to all progressive ideas. We're proposing San Juan, 3 levels na. You have the street level, you have the level interconnected walkways to connect the buildings, and elevated monorail to interconnect the LRTs. I hope the people of San Juan will approve that. This is best practice also.
Okay, from 0917-539-3268, what is the effect of reclaiming Manila Bay like what was done in Mall of Asia? Ikaw ba in favor in the first place of any further reclamation of Manila Bay?
If you do it properly, it's okay. Dapat from the existing shoreline, meron kang waterway. Parang sa Palm Islands ng Dubai.
Meron yan sa reclamation pagdating mo sa Parañaque. There is an inner waterway close to the seawall before tapos yung reclamation. I don't know whether they've covered it since.
Oh, I don't know whether it's wide enough. So, like sa Palm Islands, Dubai, away from the shoreline, may bridge and water flows around. Singapore, they added 6,000 hectares. Singapore used to be 65,000 hectares lang kasi laki ng Guimaras. Ngayon, 71,000 hectares na. Because they do it properly. It's properly done. Kasi yung...
Proper engineering and proper design.
Yeah. This reclamation could even be your tsunami breaks. Taasan mo para ma-protect yung Rojas Boulevard area. But it should be designed, implemented properly. Nangyayari sa Rojas Boulevard, yung mga bumili doon, they have to do soil injection to stabilize the soil. Kasi the reclamation was not properly done. Unlike in Singapore, for instance, they use good material to reclaim. Alam mo,
naalala ko na tinatayo ni Lindy Locsin yung reclamation doon ng Cultural Center, no?
Yeah.
And one day, nag-uusap kami ni Lindy, was complaining to me. Wala daw siyang ginawa kundi mag-piling. Lubog lang na lubog yung mga piles, hindi na matapos.
Yung GSIS building.
But the subsidence there in the Cultural Center continues.
Yeah.
I think it's about 6 to 8 inches.
Yung Phil Center, puro crack na yung... In fact, supposed to be condemned na yun eh. Yeah.
Yung Philippine
Film Center, yeah. Puro crack na, yeah.
Well, but dito natin po nakikita, but basically, you're saying that pwede pang mag-reclaim dyan sa Manila Bay.
But do it properly.
Alright. One of the suggestions that I used to make before about all public works was to have the Philippine Institute of Contractors and Engineers, for example, give them a 1% contract fee or 1.5% contract fee, but their task is to make sure the definition of the task is accurate.
Yeah.
The material estimates are reasonably accurate. And number 3, that it is built according to plans and specifications. Because kung ilalagay mo ang COA dyan, these are just accountants. They really do not know. Nakita ko ito sa isang lugar sa Mindanao na I go, nakikita ko, nilatag yung semento, nakalabas lahat ng bara nung bakal, no? Yung reinforcing bars. Yung pala, para lang sa inspeksyon ng COA, kunyari na litrato. Kinabukasan natapos ang inspeksyon, bunot na yung mga bars. But it would seem to me, again, the engagement of the private sector here on 2 levels. One, you are suggesting on the policy or planning level. In other words, to see whether it's really encompassing the big picture and the larger needs of the community, not just the small one, and then in the construction and supervision area. And I think many of our Philippine engineering or architectural or company or associations can really do a tremendous job for this country by helping out in those areas.
Like bidding. Ang dami pa rin kalokohan despite this openness supposed to be. Like I've handled international bids in Dubai. Like my agency estimate, yung mag-bid more than 15% above or less than 15% below,
alis na.
Straight bid. Sumali ko minsan sa, ewan ko ba't binibid nila ang professional services. Agency bid was 25 million. Number 1 kami sa technical. Number 1. Our proposal was malapit sa 25 million. May nagbid ng 15 million. How can you compare? Meron isa naman na project.
Hindi, alam mo dito sa Pilipinas
may spoiler bids.
Hindi, may mga spoiler bids. But ang ginagawa dito, yung hope nila, change order.
Afterwards.
Na tumataas uli yan. Kasi minsan ma-bid out na at na-award na, wala nang tumitingin eh. From 0906-248-8950 from George of Baguio City. Gandang gabi, Ka-Ray. Dito sa Baguio, talagang pinatutupad ang segregation ng basura. Pag magtapon ka ng basura, i-check pa ng barangay kagawad na nakatoka sa basura. Isa rin dahilan sa baha ay ang basura. You are correct, Kuya George?
Definitely. One of our recommendations after Ondoy, solid waste management. And that was part of it.
And it's got to become the mantra of the local government officials, the kagawads, the barangay chair, and the mayors, and the councilors.
Kasi even yung where to dump the garbage, meron din tayong NIMBY not in my backyard. So it states there are about 60 golf courses, former sanitary landfill. Tuwan-tuwa pa rin yung golfers kasi every year nagbabago yung contours ng golf.
From 0915-827-4220. Bukod po sa pagpapalis ng squatter sa mga estero, buhayin po yung mga estero na ginawang tambakan at natayuan ng mga building. Yun na walang baha sa Metro Manila.
Yung plano sa esteros and rivers, plano pa ni Daniel Burnham yan, 1905.
Yun po ang gumawa ng Burnham Park sa Baguio.
At saka Chicago, 1909. And
medyo outdated na siguro.
Outdated, but the principles still the
Remain
same.
the same.
Like you have wide boulevards, you have promenades, esplanades beside the waterfronts. And we had that when the Americans were here. When they left, we forgot about it.
Ay, nako. Sabi nga, meron nga nagsabi, hindi ko na maalala kung sino yun. I would prefer a nation run like hell by Filipinos than one run like heaven by Americans.
It looks like prediction.
Ayaw ko, alam mo, pwede lang magsabi sa akin ng ganun. Yung mga nasa ibabaw, kasi sila, hindi sila they will not be inconvenienced. Pero yung pagdurusa lang nandun sa ilalim, I don't want this country run like hell by anybody. I would like to see it run properly by some, tunay na mabuti at magandang kalooban at matalinong Pilipino.
Yeah. Our expatriate Filipinos, the OFWs, they are considered the best citizens of the world outside the Philippines.
Pero bakit pagka lang sila nasa labas?
Outside the Philippines nga eh.
Pag dito sa Pilipinas.
Pagpasok pa lang sa airport, iba na.
Iba na. Ay, nako. 0917-719-5007. Good AM po, Architect Palafox. Sino po ang nag-study ng flood level sa Cagayan de Oro River, where you have a project owned by Pelaez family? Wala bang nag-warn sa inyo na naka-obstruct yung project na yun at put in danger the lives and property sa Barangay Nazareth and other barangays dahil sa napakalaki ng Cagayan de Oro River Basin? Itutuloy po ba ang project? If itutuloy, ano ang mga precautions ang ginawa nyo to protect the lives and properties? Maraming salamat po, Kagawad Felipe Abrugar, Barangay Nazareth, Cagayan de Oro City. Looks like he knows you have a project there or something.
Ang project na yan saved 700 lives during the Sendong ba yun? Ang ginawa namin, nakuha namin data from the local government. 5.5 meters high yung flooding.
Okay.
Ginawa namin, in-elevate namin yung ground floor to 11.5 meters. Kaya nung nagbaha, 8.4 meters. So we were more than...
Hindi
lumampas. Everything below that is non-livable. Parking lang. Anyway, insurable. And foreign experts even said this would be a good example of adaptive architecture. Ginagamit na yan sa progressive cities in the world that are liable to flooding. Sa Marikina, yung SM, it's on stilts. Kasi kausap namin nun si Secretary Bihilar, he gave us the flood levels. Si Bayani Fernando, who's mayor, and I province ko ng Sumart. It's designed na no habitable space will be there. Kaya maybe that's misinformation. I was informed by Dr. Pelaez na some people are I'm sorry, yung below 11.5 meters, walang livable spaces. And that project saved 700 human lives. Yung mga dala ng baha, umakyat sila doon. Under construction pa yun. And then, 700 human... Hindi. And it's now being made as an example of adaptive architecture. Kasi yung dikes, hindi ginawa ng gobyerno. So, ginawa na lang namin adaptive architecture. I can talk to him to explain the concept.
Okay. All right. From 0917-576-0722. Good PM, Sir Rosa. Ang problema ko po kasi na hindi ini-implement ng mga zoning official ang tama kaya pati ilalim ng tulay may bahay. Takot kasi mga politiko magpatupad kasi di iboboto. Kahit po anong mitigasyon, plan ang gawin, kung walang disiplina, walang mangyayari. Alam po ninyo, hindi ko alam kung paano kung sasagutin niya kung ating mga kababayan dito, basta nakakita ng higaan, hihilanta, doon nila balik kung sila ay malalagay sa peligro.
Kasi it's related din to walang job opportunities away from Metro Manila. Kaya bago i-relocate, dapat siguraduhin na may jobs, may schools, hindi lang shelter.
But your government cannot guarantee jobs. And they can also not guarantee that they will put you at a place that is close. Because it's also a question of what land is available. You know, if it's properly owned, the government cannot relocate people there unless they will expropriate. But if they are going to expropriate, which they can do, at marami naman yung lungsod na may salapi, gawin nila lang tama, huwag nilang gawing pagkakataon para magkaroon ng graft and corruption, di ba? Alright, from 0915-348-9025. Good evening po. Good evening. Good agencies also do their share by having early preventive measures, but hard-hearted people violate, especially waste management control and climate change awareness affecting southwest monsoon. Outlets of water are too lacking. Thanks from Lee Javier from Antique, Panay. I think it's a given fact that dito sa Metro Manila kulang tayo ng outlets.
Yeah. Hindi makalabas yung tubig.
At least yung capacity is only so much.
Yeah.
Like you saying, Pasig River, 600.
4,000 yung galing sa
Yung
taas.
galing sa taas, 4,000.
Yeah.
Ay talagang kukulangin. It will definitely just go over its banks.
Saka lumalaki yung runoff. Kaya yung low-lying areas like Nabotas, Malabon, and so on. Kasi nung araw, upland ng Bulacan and Novaliches, wala masyadong subdivision. Na-develop na ngayon, so mas mabilis yung runoff water.
Okay, one point that I want to raise is sometimes we do a lot of underpasses here in this country. Alright, anong gagawin mo dyan? For example, maraming underpass, talagang nagiging swimming pool. Di madaanan ng maski na ang lalalim ng tubig. What can be done and should have been done to prevent that from ever happening?
Sa Singapore, yung mga underpasses nila, they create a 1 meter, not exactly a hump. Mag-slope up ng 1 meter, then bababa. Yung mga underpass natin, parang nag-i-slope na, malayo pa towards the underpasses. Parang ini-encourage mo pa yung flood.
Yung tubig na.
Kaya progressive countries, hinahump up nila, not exactly hump, but slope up by about 1 meter, then bababa.
Pero kung wala kang mga drainage sites sa
at saka isa rin
one point that I want to bring up, bakit ba ang SLEX, umihilang ang pusa, lumulubog parate?
SLEX and LEX.
SLEX.
SLEX, yeah.
Ako, umulan lang ng kaunti, mag-isa kasi nagpupunta ako ng Alabang, or to Lipa. Pag nakita mo, dumaan ka sa SLEX, there are portions of that, ang service road, hindi binabaha, pero yung SLEX mismo, lubog. So they create a monstrous traffic jam, and I don't know what was wrong with the construction, kung bakit napakababa ng SLEX, mas mababa sa service road. Pag umulan, lahat ng tubig gumaganon. Wala namang outlet na iiwan ngayon doon sa kalsada ng SLEX. But I guess maybe that's another issue. Somebody should really ask the ones who constructed that, bakit nagkaganon? Dito ko nakikita yung part ng puro engineering. Di ba?
Kasi hindi gumagawa ng alternative designs. Single design.
Single design from 0935-978-8760. Buti na lang may isang Palafox na mahusay mag-tips para sa baha. I believe Palafox from Renly, Valle ng Angono, Rizal. Marami kang fan dito sa Metro Manila at least, no? Kajun? I guess we've become aware of your pioneering advocacy. Not very popular, and a lot of people get upset and angry with you.
Yeah. So one thing na, maybe even development from government, we have a triple bottom line approach to development. People first, or social equity, then planet Earth, or the environment. Pangatlo lang yung profit and economic goals. If one of those is missing, we don't take the project. At saka kung may corruption, we don't take the project.
Alright. From Edo Bantipolo, 0919-221-2562 ulit. Magaganda ang mga plano ni Architect Palafox, pero may plano ba ang gobyerno na i-adapt ito? Alam mo, yun ang problema dito. Pag ang suggestion ng galing sa private sector, ayaw pansinin ng pamahalan. Kasi, para sabihin lang, di naman kami yung bida dyan, o si John Palafox ang bida dyan. Bakit namin siya pagbabayaan maging bida?
Another, is the
Ego!
colonial mentality.
Oh.
Linispeto tayo abroad sa sarili kong bayan because I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Yung sasabihin ko ngayon, mag-hire tayo ng puti, sabihin niya the same thing, they will give the credit to the puti.
Hindi ko nga din maintindihan po yun. From 0908-281-1019. Posible bang mabura sa mapa yung Kalakhang, Maynila pag di pa rin nasusolusyonan ang baha? Kasi palawak ng palawak ang sinasakop ng baha. Ay, totoo naman, Kadjun, anong gagawin natin? Lumulubog na ang Pilipinas, tumataas ang Manila Bay, lumalakas ang ulan. Abay, anong mangyayari?
Yeah.
Hindi ba that's being predicted even in terms of climate change? And that has nothing to do with the ozone hole.
Yeah.
You know, it is a season that they're taking now in consideration 10,000, 20,000 year cycles.
Isang professor ko sa Harvard Graduate School of Design, sabi niya, 21st century will be a century, RE century. Reimagine, replan, re-engineer, reuse, recycle, reduce, redevelop, and hopefully renaissance.
What's the 21st century all about?
It's really renewal, redevelopment, and so on.
Okay. Ito, our last text for the night at naubusan na po tayo ng panahon from 0918-819-0888. We need June Palafox as DPWH Secretary
No,
to
thank
implement
you.
preventive flooding system. It should be prioritized more than NAIA modernization. Kanya lang kasasabi lang ni Kadjun. Salamat daw po sa inyong suggestion, but thanks but no thanks. Kadjun, thank you so much for being with us
Thank you,
tonight.
sir. And salamat po sa listeners, pati all the comments na we learn from you also. Salamat po.
At alam naman ninyo talaga na napakalaki itong problema natin, and I hope the government can get its act together and not be so egotistical na gusto lang nila ang good ideas na gagaling sa kanila, and learn to listen to what people who have had experience, who's worked with, I don't know how many countries in the world,
37 times.
37 countries. Siguro meron naman siguro natutunang punti. Hindi naman sinasabi ko sa kanya lang ang magandang ideya. Marami po magandang ideya. Pakinggan din niyo yung iba. Kanya lang, have the political will. Let's do what we need to do, and that can be very reasonably and very readily established. Thank you for being with us tonight. Salamat po sa inyong tangkilik. We will see you next week. God bless you.
Huli ka ng aso.
Kalaban.
Hindi mo release naman ng pork barrel ka sa useless naman.
Mga patay, papabigyan ko ng 5,000. Pagka may... So,
Marami
hindi ko
ang
hawak.
nagsasabi na
Hindi. Dahil baka kunyari, lahat ng madi-dismiss, mang-hostage na lang para ma-reinstate.